There are certain signs that might seem harmless while you are asleep, but they could actually be the very first warning bells of diabetes. When night falls and everything becomes quiet, that is also when your body starts to whisper, but are we truly listening? Have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a painful cramp? Have you felt a burning thirst despite drinking plenty of water during the day? Or has your heart suddenly raced for no apparent reason, making it hard for you to fall back asleep? You might think it is just aging or simply insomnia, but the truth might startle you. Diabetes is not just about having high blood sugar levels. It is a silent thief, stealing your sleep energy, emotions, memory, and the healthy years of life you were meant to enjoy. Especially alarming is that it attacks by night first, with signs so subtle they are often overlooked. But those signs offer a golden opportunity to detect and prevent complications early on. And the most important thing to remember is this: there are at least 12 nighttime warning signs, and if you have experienced even just one of them, you need to have your blood sugar checked right away, not out of fear, but to protect yourself in time. Do not be complacent. The knowledge you gain today could be what saves your health tomorrow. And before we begin, leave a comment with a positive affirmation, like, "I am actively protecting my health every single day." That will be a precious gift of encouragement for yourself. Also, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue walking together on the journey toward a healthier, wiser, and longer life alongside the people you love. So what are those warning signs? Let us dive right in. 1. Numbness or pain in the legs. Have you ever felt as if ants were crawling on your legs at night, or been awakened by a dull ache that spread from the soles of your feet up to your calves? Do not brush it off as something normal, because it could be a clear sign of one of the most common complications of diabetes, peripheral neuropathy. When blood sugar levels remain high over a long period, they silently damage the protective sheath around your nerves. Much like electrical wires losing their insulation, the nerves in the legs, being the furthest from the heart, are usually the first to suffer. At first, you might only feel mild numbness or tingling, but over time, it can progress to pain, a prickling sensation, or even a total loss of feeling. In the long run, this could lead to foot ulcers from pressure or small injuries that do not heal, and worse, infections could spread so severely that amputation becomes necessary. Some elderly diabetic patients have described the feeling as if they were walking on nails, or said their feet felt freezing cold, even while covered with heavy blankets. That is the classic sensory disruption caused by nerve damage. 2. Sleep apnea. Many people are unaware that waking up with a headache in the morning could be closely linked to diabetes, especially among older adults. One of the dangerous but often overlooked culprits is sleep apnea. This is a condition where the airway temporarily collapses during sleep, causing intermittent drops in oxygen supply to the brain, leading to vasodilation and persistent early morning headaches. What is even more concerning is that people with type 2 diabetes, particularly those who are overweight, are at significantly higher risk. And that is not all nighttime hypoglycemia. Often a result of taking too much diabetes medication or insulin, can also trigger headaches, dizziness, rapid heartbeats, and even waking up drenched in cold sweat. When blood sugar drops too low, the body has to trigger an emergency response by releasing adrenaline, a hormone that constricts blood vessels, causes a sudden spike in blood pressure, and results in an intense feeling of restlessness, discomfort, and severe headaches upon waking. In older adults, there is yet another factor that is easily overlooked: dehydration during sleep. Because the kidneys have to work harder at night to eliminate excess sugar, the body can lose a significant amount of fluid, causing the blood to become thicker, reducing blood flow to the brain. This is one of the reasons why morning headaches can become worse. Therefore, do not take morning headaches lightly, especially if they happen frequently and for no clear reason. Start with small but practical steps. Record your symptoms every morning and try checking your blood sugar before going to sleep and after waking up. In many cases, simply adjusting your dinner, By cutting back on carbohydrates, increasing healthy protein, and making sure you stay hydrated can lead to significant improvements. 3 leg cramps during the night. Nighttime leg cramps could be the result of an electrolyte imbalance, especially a deficiency in magnesium, potassium, or calcium, minerals essential for regulating the contraction and relaxation of muscles. In people with diabetes, the kidneys work overtime to eliminate excess glucose, leading to dehydration and the loss of minerals through urine, which increases the risk of muscle cramps. Another often overlooked factor is damage to motor nerves, a complication of chronic diabetes. When these nerves are damaged, the signals sent to the muscles become distorted, causing the muscles to react with abnormal contractions. In some cases, poor blood circulation due to atherosclerosis, which is common among older adults with diabetes, further deprives the muscles of oxygen and nutrients at night, contributing to the likelihood of cramping. A simple but effective solution for this sign is, before going to bed, perform a few gentle stretching exercises for your calves and feet. Make sure to stay hydrated and replenish essential minerals, particularly magnesium, which is found in foods like cashews, bananas, and oats, and potassium. If you are taking diuretics or undergoing treatment for high blood pressure, consult your doctor, as these medications can alter your electrolyte balance. 4. Waking up drenched in cold sweat. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, your body drenched in sweat, your heart racing, feeling confused or anxious without knowing why? If you are managing diabetes, especially if you are using insulin or blood sugar lowering medications, this might not just be a random hot flash. It could be a nighttime hypoglycemia episode happening while you sleep. Nighttime hypoglycemia, also known as nocturnal hypoglycemia, is extremely dangerous. During these episodes, blood glucose drops below a safe level under 70 milligrams per deciliter, or about 3.9 millimoles per liter. But because you are asleep, you might not notice. Your body's only option is to trigger an emergency response by releasing adrenaline, the survival mode hormone, which causes cold sweats, a rapid heartbeat, unexplained anxiety, and even nightmares. This is not uncommon, especially among older adults. However, the scary part is that elderly people often do not notice these symptoms as clearly as younger individuals. They might just feel a bit tired, experience an irregular heartbeat, or wake up feeling restless without knowing why. If nighttime hypoglycemia is not detected and treated in time, it can lead to seizures, coma, or even sudden death during sleep. How can you prevent this? First and foremost, check your blood sugar before going to bed, especially if you are using insulin or strong blood sugar lowering medications. If your reading is on the low side, have a small snack, such as a piece of low-fat cheese, a glass of unsweetened almond milk, or a slice of whole grain bread, to help stabilize your blood sugar without causing a sudden spike. Also, never skip dinner. Maintain a regular daily routine. And if you notice yourself sweating heavily at night, do not stay silent. Inform your doctor. Sometimes simply adjusting your medication dosage or changing the timing can be enough to protect your sleep and even your life. Frequent nighttime urination. Do you find yourself waking up multiple times during the night to urinate, even though you did not drink much water before bed? This could be a silent signal that your blood sugar levels are too high, an early warning sign that diabetes may be getting out of control. When blood glucose exceeds normal levels, the kidneys are forced to work harder to filter and eliminate the excess sugar. The extra glucose pulls water along with it, causing your body to flush the sugar out, leading to frequent urination, particularly at night when hormone levels that regulate urination naturally drop. Older adults are especially prone to this condition, but it is often mistaken for issues like prostate problems, a weakened bladder, or simply aging. However, if nighttime urination is accompanied by persistent thirst, a dry mouth, and unexplained weight loss, you are witnessing classic signs of prolonged high blood sugar, something that must not be ignored. Not only does this disrupt your sleep, but it also prevents your body from properly recovering. You will experience chronic fatigue, mental fog, and over time, a significantly higher risk of depression, confusion, and even dementia. 6. Unusual thirst, even in cool rooms. When blood sugar rises beyond normal levels, your body starts pulling water out of your cells into the bloodstream to dilute the excess glucose. This causes your body to become dehydrated from within, triggering an emergency thirst response to try to compensate for the loss. The danger is the more you drink. If your blood sugar remains uncontrolled, the more you will urinate. This starts a vicious cycle: dehydration, thirst, nighttime urination, sleeplessness, exhaustion. And among older adults, the natural sense of thirst is often diminished. So if you are feeling extremely thirsty during the night, it is a strong indicator that your body is already severely dehydrated. Nighttime thirst should never be overlooked, especially if it is accompanied by signs like unexplained weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, and dry skin. These could be symptoms of undiagnosed diabetes, or a warning that your condition is slipping out of control. What should you do? Start by measuring your fasting blood sugar in the morning. If your numbers consistently exceed 126 milligrams per deciliter, or about 7 millimoles per liter, it is a clear signal to see your doctor. Also try to avoid high sugar and fast-digesting carbohydrates at dinner, and instead choose fiber-rich plant-based proteins, such as oats, lentils, and chia seeds, to help stabilize your blood sugar overnight. 7. Teeth grinding or clenching during sleep. Grinding your teeth or clenching your jaw subconsciously is often brushed off as just stress. But in reality, it can be a deeper sign of nighttime blood sugar imbalance. When your blood sugar fluctuates abnormally during sleep, whether it spikes or crashes, your body enters an internal alert mode. The autonomic nervous system, which controls heart rate, blood pressure, and stress responses, triggers various defense mechanisms, including unconscious jaw clenching, as if your body is trying to stay alert or tense up to cope with internal turmoil. Several neurological studies have shown a link between glucose fluctuations during sleep and excessive muscle activity in the jaw, especially in people with high HbA1c levels. Chronic teeth grinding not only disrupts deep sleep, but also causes permanent tooth damage, erodes enamel, cracks teeth, and can even lead to temporomandibular joint disorders. Worse yet, clenching your jaw during sleep can trigger persistent headaches, particularly tension headaches or morning migraines. For older adults, this contributes to persistent fatigue, cognitive decline, and slower recovery from illness. 8. High blood pressure at night. Normally, blood pressure should drop during the night as the body rests. However, if your blood pressure rises while you sleep or spikes early in the morning, it is not just a random event, it is a dangerous warning sign, especially for people with diabetes. In healthy individuals, the autonomic nervous system helps regulate a natural cycle of blood pressure rising during the day and falling at night. But when high blood sugar persists, it damages this regulatory system, preventing blood pressure from dropping during rest. In fact, it can cause blood pressure to surge while you are asleep, placing tremendous strain on your heart and blood vessels. Additionally, if you experience nighttime hypoglycemia, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to fight back. These hormones can cause sudden and dangerous spikes in blood pressure, a hidden risk that many people are unaware of. Nighttime high blood pressure silently doubles the risk of stroke and heart attack, especially among older adults and those with heart disease or chronic kidney disease. Alarmingly, most people do not realize they are experiencing this condition until a major health crisis occurs. Therefore, if you are living with both diabetes and high blood pressure, talk to your doctor about monitoring your nighttime blood pressure using an automatic device or a specialized wrist monitor. Also, try to limit your salt and fat intake during dinner and incorporate light relaxation practices like meditation and deep breathing to help keep your blood pressure stable and improve your sleep quality. 9. Nighttime acid reflux. In healthy individuals, the stomach valve closes tightly to keep acid contained. However, in people with diabetes, When the nerves that control digestive contractions are damaged, the stomach digests food more slowly, causing food to linger. As a result, internal pressure builds up, and acid can be pushed back up into the esophagus, especially when you are lying down to sleep. Nighttime reflux is not just uncomfortable or sleep disrupting. It interferes with the absorption of medications, making it harder to control blood sugar and blood pressure. If it persists, the lining of the esophagus can become inflamed and damaged, potentially leading to dangerous conditions such as precancerous changes in the esophagus. Another important point to remember nighttime is when symptoms are most likely to appear, as lying flat makes it easier for acid to reflux. A burning sensation, difficulty breathing, or a bitter taste in the mouth during the night can leave you sleepless. What can you do to reduce this? Make it a habit to eat dinner early and avoid overeating, especially heavy, greasy, spicy, or sour foods. When lying down, elevate your head and sleep on your left side, as this position helps reduce pressure on the stomach. Also remember to eat smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day to avoid overloading your stomach. 10. Chronic insomnia. It is often said that a good night's sleep is the best medicine for the body. But for people dealing with blood sugar issues, especially those with diabetes, restful sleep does not come easily. One of the lesser-known mechanisms behind insomnia is the stress hormone response. When blood sugar fluctuates sharply during sleep, whether rising or falling, the body triggers the production of hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, jolting the brain into a state of heightened alertness. This makes it difficult to enter deep sleep, and can even cause you to wake up feeling anxious or restless without understanding why. The more you lose sleep, the more cortisol your body produces, a hormone that not only disrupts sleep, but also decreases insulin sensitivity, making blood sugar control even harder. Thus, the vicious cycle of insomnia, blood sugar dysregulation, stress hormones, more insomnia, continues wearing down both your body and mind. Chronic insomnia is strongly linked to depression, memory decline, and an increased risk of dementia in older adults. For those living with diabetes, these consequences are even more concerning. What can you do to improve this situation? First, establish a stable sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Avoid stimulants like blue light from phones, caffeine, or late-night meals. Light meditation, relaxing music, or deep breathing before bed can help your body transition into rest mode. Most importantly, make sure your blood sugar is stable before going to sleep. 11. Dizziness, sweating and sudden hunger in the middle of the night. Sudden dizziness, heavy sweating, and intense hunger at midnight are often the results of a silent biological imbalance happening during sleep. It is not just a random coincidence. It is your body's desperate attempt to defend itself against dangerously low blood sugar levels. In this state, the brain, which depends entirely on glucose for energy, is the first to suffer. When energy runs low, the centers controlling sensation, body temperature, and consciousness are overstimulated. A person may wake up feeling ravenous as if they had been starving for days, accompanied by trembling, a racing heart, or even dizziness so severe they have to sit up abruptly. If not addressed quickly, this condition can escalate within minutes to unconsciousness or seizures, especially in older adults or those with a long history of diabetes. The solution is not simply eating more. It lies in carefully adjusting your evening meal schedule, monitoring your individual blood sugar patterns, and establishing a stable pre-sleep routine. Small but critical choices, like timing your evening snack correctly and choosing foods with a low glycemic index but high in nutrients, can make all the difference. 12. Restless leg syndrome. An irresistible urge to move your legs, an inability to stay still even while resting, and a constant need to move to relieve discomfort. These are the hallmark signs of restless leg syndrome for people with diabetes. Restless leg syndrome is not just a common motor nerve disorder. It is closely connected to peripheral nerve damage and a decline in dopamine production, which is a key neurotransmitter responsible for coordinating movement and controlling sensations. What is especially concerning is that restless leg syndrome does not cause sharp or obvious pain. Instead, it creates an indescribable discomfort, like tingling, prickling, or an electric-like sensation running through the legs. These symptoms force the person to move without even thinking continuously, interrupting their sleep and leading to long-term fatigue and emotional exhaustion. If left untreated, restless legs syndrome can create a vicious cycle: sleep disruption, energy depletion, worsening blood sugar control, and more severe nerve damage. If you have experienced even one of the 12 nighttime signs we just discussed, do not brush it off. Your body is sending you an important message. Listening to it today could be what protects you from serious complications tomorrow. Checking your blood sugar is not difficult. Making small changes to your diet, sleep habits, and light exercise routine is not overly complicated. But if you delay, the price you pay will not just be sleepless nights. It will be a loss of quality of life, clarity of mind, and daily joy. Start today. Measure your blood sugar before bedtime. Record any symptoms you experience during the night. Consult your doctor if you have any doubts. And above all, do not hesitate to make changes, because health does not wait. Before we end this video, leave a positive affirmation in the comments as a personal commitment to your health journey. For example, I take control of my sleep and my health every single day. Or share anything you would like to affirm for yourself and your loved ones. Do not forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss our next videos.